So Xbox has died and revived again in the span of a week. Just in one of the number of times that Xbox has been dead, apparently, if you go onto social media, and it may happen again in this upcoming week if the developer direct isn't up to par to a lot of the fanboys online who are against Xbox. Xbox may be dying again this week. I mean, we will wait and see. I did put out a tweet the other day asking when was the Xbox going to be dead again, and everyone is pointing to the developer direct. So we'll see if they do die again in this upcoming week. I don't think so. I think developer direct will be great, but they died again last week, and the reason for this was because of a paywalled article by a website called The Information, which claimed here that Activision Blizzard had not resulted in any growth, and that the company was expected the Xbox business to basically fall apart, and that they were potentially going to walk away from the Xbox business back in 2021, which, if you sit back and think about it for just a second, really does not make any sense, because that would have been after they had announced, I believe in 2020, that they were acquiring Bethesda. And then just a couple years later, a year later or so, they announced that they were going to be acquiring Activision Blizzard. So none of it was really adding up. It was from a bunch of fund managers who had a lot of money in the Microsoft stock. And then you had people online talking about this, spreading the article around and making it sound like that Xbox was in serious doubt here going forward. Now, the reality of the situation is, if you've been following everything, I mean, I make videos every single day about the news going on in the gaming industry. I don't know everything. I'm wrong a lot of the time. However, with Xbox specifically, if you've been following their financial reports, if you've been following the announcements they've been making since they acquired ABK, basically the revenue has been increasing. They've been breaking records for Game Pass and for users, especially with something like Black Ops 6 dropping into the service, which just has been a resounding success, at least from what we have seen from the factual information that has been out there. Nothing here is pointing towards Xbox dying. Xbox is, in fact, the opposite, in my opinion. They doubled and tripled down on video games. If they were at any point looking at potentially leaving the gaming business and leaving the gaming market, they are nowhere near doing that right now, with doubling, tripling down, with making these huge acquisitions. Now, you could argue a $1 trillion company, $1 billion company, any company out there that is trying to be profitable and trying to make money, they may sit back and look at the different sectors of their business and decide at some point maybe one section just needs to be changed, or maybe they want to let it go. But I don't think that 2021 was that year that Xbox did that. It just does not make any sense if you look at the timeline of events. And that article that was being spread around by a lot of people on social media, you had gaming journalists using it as a thing to get people to think that there was some bleakness here in the Xbox gaming business. It was missing a ton of context that made absolutely no sense. And now we have some more information. A good article was written by Insider Gaming going over a lot of the factual stuff that was not in that article. And Xbox actually responded to people asking about whether they were going to be walking away from the Xbox gaming business. So no, Xbox isn't dying. In fact, they are very healthy, in my opinion. I think they want to be the top dogs in video games by any means necessary. If that means putting games on PlayStation, they're putting games on PlayStation. They just want to be at the top of gaming, where a lot of people go there, or most people go there, as a place where they primarily play their video games. And they're heading in that direction. 2025 is going to be a massive year. Now, let's jump over here to the article again. Insider Gaming here, very well done. Read through it all, and they go over a lot of things that, if you've been following gaming whatsoever, if you were to have seen that article from The Information, you have to have asked these questions as to why are they not including this information. But it says exclusive. Microsoft Activision report regarding financial performance is missing context. On Wednesday, a report from The Information claimed that Microsoft's purchase of Activision Blizzard hasn't resulted in the growth that the company expected with its Xbox business at this point. And this is a paywalled article, by the way, so you have to pay to get this, and it's a relatively hefty fee if you just want to go in there and read it. And you think if you're paying to go read an article, if you're adding that extra wall where people can't see the information, that the ones that do pay are going to be getting all the factual stuff and context wouldn't be missing, but that just clearly is not the case. It seemed like more of an opinion piece than anything, and not really anything based in major fact. But it says the report quotes paywalled one analyst, portfolio manager Danny Fish as saying, Activision has been disappointing for the company's overall revenue. After reaching out to Activision and Microsoft for comment, representatives from both companies said the information's report was missing some information. The companies then provided context to show how the company has performed since the purchase, along with the state of Microsoft gaming. And it's interesting. You don't even need Microsoft to respond to this to see how they have been performing. The public financial reports are out there for everybody to see on the quarterly basis, and you can see exactly what has happened since ABK became a part of Xbox and how they've actually grown in revenue specifically because of that. It goes on here to say, in its last 4 earnings report, Microsoft has reported revenue increases regularly for Xbox content and services going back to Q2 fiscal year 2024. Xbox content and services revenue increased by 61%, driven by 55 points of net impact from the Activision acquisition. And then for the next quarter, revenue was reported to have increased by 62%, with 61 points attributed to Activision. And for Q4 2024, it was up another 61% with 58 points of net impact from the purchase. And lastly, Q1 of fiscal year 2025 saw the revenue increase by 61%, with 53 points coming from Activision. And again, that is all public information. That is all out there. You go look at the reports themselves and you would see that. So you would think before spreading around all this information, people out there would have thought that maybe there is some context missing. And of course, there clearly was with that information that I just went over in and of itself. Now, if you do break down the numbers, they say that Activision has accounted for over 85% of each quarter's revenue increase. It also shows over the last 3 quarters a slight steady growth outside of Activision's impact from a low of 1 point to 8 points as of Q1 fiscal year 2025. And Satya Nadella has alluded to the purchase's benefits during the company's Q1 2025 earnings call. And we went over this on my channel when he made all of these quotes. He seemed very happy with this ABK acquisition, at least as of right now. It will be extremely interesting to see once a full year is under the belt exactly what is going on. But my best guess here is that it's going to be still in the positive here. You're not going to see a major downturn. And then this year, at the end of this year, I wonder what the impact will be if they hit on every single first party game that does release, specifically dropping into Xbox Game Pass Day 1. And on top of that, putting a lot of these games on PlayStation, which is the rumors right now. And I would tend to lean on the side that, yes, they're going to be putting more games on PlayStation. How much of an effect that will bring to Xbox itself, and how does that affect the games that Xbox gamers do get going forward? Will it mean more money to be invested? Will it mean more third-party deals on Game Pass? All of that stuff. That would be my expectation as a consumer, as a gamer, for them putting their games in more places. Now, here's what Satya Nadella did say. We set new records for monthly active users in the quarter as more players than ever play our games across devices and on the Xbox platform, and that the business is positioned for long-term growth. And regarding Xbox Game Pass, Nadella said that the service set a record for number of new Game Pass subscriptions on Call of Duty Black Ops 6 on launch day, and added that the service set a new Q1 record for total revenue and average revenue per subscriber, which all of this stuff flies completely in the face of that article from The Information about how Activision Blizzard hasn't resulted in growth of the company. So you could be saying, who do you believe? Do you believe the fund managers, the portfolio managers at that website, or do you believe Microsoft and Xbox themselves? I'm not telling you who to believe, but that's the question you do have to ask when you're seeing this type of information go around. Now, the other suggestion that was made from this article was that in 2021, that Satya Nadella said the company would wind down its games business entirely. And the company, Xbox and Microsoft, are flat out denying this. In fact, they say they point to comments made around that time with Nadella expressing that Microsoft is all in on gaming. And they closed by saying that engagement on Xbox platform is at an all-time high. And Microsoft says they are well over 500 million monthly players. And over the last year, we've seen consistent growth in monthly users on cloud. So there you go. I guess that, again, whoever you want to believe, but that, I would say, from Microsoft's perspective, has been debunked. They're saying that that wasn't even the case. 2021 as the year that Microsoft was considering winding down their gaming business again just makes no sense logically in the timeline of events that we did see. That I don't think you go out, you spend a bunch of money on acquisitions, and then you say, okay, yeah, we're just going to close this thing down. It's over. We made all these investments. We haven't given them any time whatsoever to kind of reap the rewards of these investments and see how big gaming division can get. We're just going to wind it down after spending all of that money. It just does not make any sense. So that was another red flag when seeing that information from that article that was put out. Now, the other thing that they did claim here, there was in this report claiming that the Azure servers in the Activision deal, that was being hopefully leveraged and used to get other studios to release their games on Game Pass. And Insert Gamer says here that they were told by sources close to the Game Pass business that the report from the information conflates an opinion that developers are scared of profit loss with the fact that the business is already set up to pay developers upfront if that's their choice for how they want to structure the deal. So I guess really there's nothing there. They're just conflating an opinion and making a guess here that Activision Blizzard has not encouraged more people to potentially release their games onto Xbox Game Pass. I mean, Game Pass to me, just from a consumer's outsider's perspective, has been very, very good. I mean, yes, there's down months, there's down launches or announcements for the slate of games that is coming over, but overall they've had some very good games on there. And I mean, all the first party stuff has been phenomenal. And the other thing, when you do sign up to Game Pass, that has continuously improved, and I know this is from firsthand experience because I wasn't a fan, I was kind of against it for a little bit, but I've changed my mind over the last year and a half or so, has been cloud gaming. Cloud gaming has significantly improved on my end, at least, where I have no problem now playing these games. They look great. They run great on my mobile network. It works extremely, extremely well. And now that they're bringing more purchase games on the cloud, I'm starting to become somebody who will definitely be using those cloud services far more than I previously thought that I would. So it's just a crazy week with all of this stuff happening. Xbox dying once again, but they've been revived because of this article, I guess you could say, for people out there who are interested in the context around everything that is going on. And then you also had PlayStation with their canceled games. They've been canceling games left, right, and center. And you still have people believing that Xbox is going away. And they only look at the plastic box side of things. And that's why they come to this opinion. But the reality is the plastic box is no longer the primary player in video games. Even on the PlayStation side, every single sign is pointing towards them putting their games day and date into PC. They need to move away from just keeping things locked exclusively to PlayStation. Canceling games is a reason for that. Seeing Concord fail 400 million plus is a reason for that. All of these things are changing. It's a big change going on in the gaming industry. And I think 2025 is going to be a year that just exasperates that change. And we're going to see a lot more talking points moving away from only the plastic box and the consoles. And I think, like I said many times on this channel, I think Xbox has set themselves up for a very, very good future because of all of the content that they do have. Now, they obviously have to deliver on the games, but 2025 will show how consistently they can deliver because the lineup just sounds absolutely insane. I will end the video there, guys. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you are new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.